The purpose of this rich task is to provide students with a holistic conception into the crisis that is Ebola. Further knowledge will provide them with the tools needed to be intelligent and active members of society. By examining the social issue from an interdisciplinary angle, we hope to increase awareness and have students critically assess similar aspects, effects, and potential future patterns. We will look at this in the rich task to determine what factors have contributed to the mass panic of today's Ebola crisis. Cell and systems from Unit B will be the focus in relation to the Ebola crisis. Students will be encouraged to critically evaluate inferences and conclusions, basing their arguments on fact rather than opinion, by encouraging students to seek and apply evidence when evaluating alternative approaches to investigations, problems, and issues. Another important outcome is that students will develop mutual respect, appreciating how scientific understanding evolves from interaction of ideas involving people with different views and backgrounds. This is important in our increasingly interconnected world. Maths integration will help encourage students to explore the Ebola crisis with a new perspective. Building on their prior knowledge of the science of Ebola, students will be better able to engage with mathematical aspects of the crisis by reflecting on previous Ebola outbreaks at the end of the project. In the rich task, students will select an article of their choice to statistically analyze using the idea of the power of 2. The power of 2 is an explanation of Ebola's contact tracing, where a patient of Ebola will often spread the RO protein of the virus to 2 other people. After analyzing the data, students will then compare it to statistical information presented in the 1995 Ebola outbreak. In comparing the results from both outbreaks, students will gain critical knowledge applicable to analyze future outbreak data. The purpose of social studies integration will focus on encouraging students to develop a deeper understanding of what it means to be a democratic citizen, building on social participation and critical examination of societal practices. Students will gain deeper understanding of how our past history of intercultural contact has impacted today's culture. Furthermore, they will develop a better understanding of how their perception has been shaped through critical examination of science, statistics, and the effect on today's societal responses of the Ebola crisis. The purpose will first be to explore how human emotions have an impact on what we do as a society and how they affect our choices. Students will critically respond to the ideas presented within the text and compare the presentation of these ideas within the media. This response examination will help students to understand how media can be biased in interpreting societal issues. The third task will be examining the possible extreme effects of a crisis, including how we become a dystopian society or even a utopian society. Through the exploration of the question, why are so many stories built on the idea of a crisis, students will be focused on developing a deeper understanding of the fear of virus and infection. Finally, the concept of comprehension and exploration is imperative. Examining the cellular data from science, statistics from math, cultural impact from social studies class, and exploring it with literature students will have a more holistic understanding of the connectedness of the social issue. Students can have a deeper understanding of how interconnected the world is and how their skills in one discipline can supplement their comprehension in other courses.